The story begins at night. An old alchemist with a prosthetic leg is walking back home. Suddenly, a mysterious young man appears in front of him and challenges him to a fight. A brutal battle begins between the old alchemist and the boy. At first, the old alchemist seems to have the upper hand, but he can't keep up for long. The boy's powers are far beyond normal, and within moments, he brutally kills the old alchemist. In the next scene, we meet Edward, who arrives at a train station with a giant metal armored robot. He's running late, and his train has already started leaving the station. But Edward doesn't give up. He runs as fast as he can, and barely manages to jump onto the moving train. The armored robot traveling with him is actually his younger brother, Alphonse. After a tragic accident in the past, Alphonse lost his physical body, and his soul now lives inside this massive metal armor. Inside the train, Edward meets a strange young boy sitting across from him. During their conversation, the boy reveals something surprising. He says he is searching for a mystical stone, a legendary stone that can make any human immortal, and he wants it so he can live forever. But this boy isn't just anyone. He's actually a prince, traveling with his royal guards. Edward stays quiet after hearing this because he's searching for the same stone himself, but Edward's reason is different. He wants to use the stone's power to restore his brother's real body. Suddenly, the situation changes. A group of armed thieves suddenly appear inside the train. They pull out their guns and start robbing the passengers. The prince's guards immediately attack the thieves. Edward and Alphonse also join the fight to stop them. During the chaos, the battle moves to the roof of the train, but in the middle of the fight, a huge explosion suddenly shakes the train. Edward loses his balance and begins falling off the train. Just before he falls to his death, a mysterious boy grabs his hand and pulls him back up. Edward's life is saved, but before Edward can even thank him, something strange happens. The boy's face suddenly changes. It becomes clear that he isn't a normal human. The prince and his guards arrive on the roof as well. Thinking the mysterious boy is one of the thieves, the guards attack him, but their attacks do absolutely nothing. The boy is far too powerful. Edward stops them and says, "Your attacks won't work on him because he's immortal." Hearing this makes the prince extremely excited because becoming immortal is exactly what he wants. Soon, everyone returns inside the train. Meanwhile, one of the captured thieves reveals something terrifying. They sabotage the train's brakes, and now the train is racing toward the station at full speed. If they don't stop it soon, hundreds of people could die. Edward and Alphonse rush to the front of the train to stop it, but on the way, the thief who destroyed the brakes attacks them, knocking them down. With no other option left, Edward quickly places both of his hands on the train tracks. Suddenly, his alchemy powers activate. Energy begins flowing through the railway tracks. Then something incredible happens. The train tracks in front of the station suddenly rise high into the air. The train starts climbing upward. Because of the steep height, the train's speed slowly decreases until it finally comes to a complete stop. Everyone is shocked. And now we learn something important. Edward isn't just a normal person. He's a powerful alchemist. Soon after, the thieves are arrested for trying to hijack the train. At the station, a man named Colonel Mustang is waiting. He's extremely impressed with Edward because Edward just saved countless lives. But Colonel Mustang is also an alchemist himself. He calls Edward aside and tells him something serious. There's a dangerous man out there, a killer with a strange symbol carved into his forehead. This man is hunting alchemists, and so far he has already killed 10 of them. Since Edward and Alphonse are alchemists too, their lives are now in danger. So the colonel assigns soldiers to stay with them for protection. But Edward and Alphonse hate the idea of being watched all the time, so they secretly try to escape. While running away, they accidentally bump into a girl. Edward quickly apologizes and even invites her to eat with them. During their conversation, Edward discovers something surprising. This girl is also searching for the same magical stone, the very stone Edward has been looking for. Hearing this makes Edward extremely frustrated, because now it seems like everyone in the world is searching for that same mysterious stone. Seeing Edward getting angry, the girl becomes scared and quickly runs away. Edward immediately starts chasing her. While running through the streets, the girl suddenly bumps into a mysterious masked man and hides behind him to escape from Edward. The masked man slowly removes his hood, and the moment Edward sees his face, he freezes. On the man's forehead is the exact same symbol that Colonel Mustang warned him about. This is the same man who has been hunting and killing alchemists, and he is also the one who killed the old alchemist at the beginning of the story. Realizing this, Edward quickly tries to escape with his brother Alphonse, but they can't run for long. Suddenly, the mysterious man smashes through a wall and appears right in front of Edward. Then he calmly says, "I will kill every alchemist because they break the laws of nature." Right after that, a brutal fight begins between Edward and the mysterious man, but the man with the symbol is incredibly powerful. During the fight, he brutally attacks Alphonse and completely destroys his metal armor body. He even shatters Edward's metal arm. Now Edward and Alphonse are completely helpless. Just before the mysterious man can kill them, Colonel Mustang arrives with his soldiers. Mustang immediately attacks using his fire alchemy, but suddenly, it starts raining, and because of the rain, Mustang's flames instantly die out. Now he can't use his powers. Seeing Seeing this opportunity, the scarred man moves forward to kill Edward, but before he can strike, Mustang's assistant manages to pull him away and save him. This makes the mysterious man even angrier, but just as he prepares to attack again, another powerful alchemist arrives. This new alchemist is strong enough to actually challenge him. The scarred man quickly realizes something. Too many alchemists have gathered here. Fighting all of them at once would be impossible, so he creates a hole in the ground using his powers and escapes underground. After the fight, Alphonse tells Edward to leave him behind and run away, because Edward's life is still in danger, but Edward refuses. He would never abandon his brother like that. In the next scene, Colonel Mustang explains the truth to everyone. The man with the symbol comes from a city that has had a long-standing conflict with their nation. The people of that city believe alchemists are sinners because they interfere with the natural order created by God. This hatred goes back centuries, but a few years ago the situation got even worse. An alchemist accidentally killed a child from their city. After that incident, tensions exploded. Soon both sides were preparing for war. Before the enemy could attack, Edward's country launched a devastating assault on their city. Using alchemy, they wiped out countless people. However, the man with the symbol survived the massacre, and now he wants revenge for his people. In the next scene, Edward arrives at the house of his childhood friend Winry. Winry is extremely happy to see him, but when she realizes that Edward's metal arm is gone, she is completely shocked. So she quickly begins building him a new mechanical arm. The next day, Edward goes to visit his mother's grave and places flowers there. But when he arrives, he sees someone unexpected. His father is already standing there. Seeing him instantly makes Edward furious. When Edward was a child, his father abandoned him and his mother. Because of that, Edward has hated him ever since. Later, Edward returns to Winry's house. There, one of the maids working in the house tells him something important. A new war might break out soon. And she also tells him that deep in the desert, there is a place where he might find powerful weapons and tools. After hearing this, Edward decides to travel there. When Edward reaches the mysterious location in the middle of the desert, several people suddenly attack him. But just then, a mysterious woman appears and stops them from hurting Edward. Meanwhile, in another place, we see the man with the symbol again. He is badly injured. The same girl who ran into Edward earlier, the one searching for the immortality stone, is treating his wounds. Soon the scarred man's master arrives. He tries to calm him down and says, "You need to stop killing alchemists. How long will you keep doing this? How many more people will die?" But the scarred man refuses to listen. His heart is filled with rage. He only wants one thing: revenge for the people who died in his city. Meanwhile, Edward and his brother also arrive in that same city, unknowingly moving closer to their next dangerous encounter. When Edward finally comes face to face with the man marked with the strange symbol, a brutal fight breaks out once again. During the battle, Edward angrily asks him, "Why did you kill my friend Windry's parents?" At that moment, Windry is standing nearby, and she overhears everything. Hearing Edward say this, she suddenly realizes the truth. The man who killed her mother and father is none other than this same scarred man. Shocked and filled with rage, Windry pulls out her gun and tries to shoot him, but before she can pull the trigger, Edward jumps in front of her and stops the shot, protecting the scarred man. At that moment, the scarred man suddenly experiences a vision. In the vision, he remembers a moment from his past when his own brother once saved his life in a very similar way. The memory overwhelms him with emotion because his brother is no longer alive. Without saying another word, the scarred man turns and leaves. Edward and Alphonse immediately chase after him, but before another fight can begin, a new man suddenly appears and attacks the scarred man. This mysterious attacker clearly wants to kill him. A fierce battle begins between the two. The new attacker is incredibly powerful and quickly begins overpowering the scarred man. But just then, the prince arrives and interferes in the fight. He manages to capture the attacker and stop the battle. At the same time, Colonel Mustang's assistant arrives as well. She knows how dangerous the scarred man is, so she immediately fires a shot and shoots him in the leg to stop him from escaping. In the next scene, the prince speaks with Colonel Mustang. He reveals something suspicious. The symbol near that man's eyes looks exactly like the mark near our president's eyes, which raises a disturbing question. What if the president himself is somehow connected to all of this? Soon after, we see the president speaking secretly with another man. He calmly says, "With the colonel's help, we'll finally be able to open that place." Meanwhile, Colonel Mustang explains the scarred man's past to everyone. Years ago, when their army attacked the scarred man's city, a terrible battle took place. During that war, the scarred man was badly wounded. He even lost one of his arms. But in order to save him, his brother sacrificed his own life. Through that sacrifice, the scarred man survived and somehow regained his arm. Since that day, he has been driven by one thing only: revenge. He wants to kill every alchemist responsible for the destruction of his people. Later, we see the scarred man again. He is still badly injured from the gunshot wound, but the same girl who earlier ran into Edward begins healing him using her mysterious powers. Meanwhile, Edward and Alphonse track her down and soon arrive at the place where the scarred man has been hiding. Not long after, Colonel Mustang, his assistant, and Winry also arrive there. Seeing all of them standing before him, the scarred man believes this is the end. He is certain that no one can save him now, but something unexpected happens. Even though she knows he killed her parents, Winry begins treating his wounds. She She quietly wraps bandages around his injuries. Seeing this act of kindness deeply shakes the scarred man. For the first time, he realizes the weight of what he has done. With regret in his voice, he apologizes to Winry, but suddenly, the prince comes running in panic. The man he had captured earlier has escaped and is chasing him. Moments later, that terrifying creature appears again. Suddenly, the creature tears open its stomach, revealing huge, sharp teeth inside. It rushes forward to attack Winry, but before it can reach her, the scarred man jumps in front and protects her, attacking the creature. Then the monster reveals its true power. It opens its massive stomach and begins pulling everyone toward it. One by one, everyone gets dragged inside. Soon they realize something horrifying. The creature that swallowed them is not a human at all. It's actually some kind of alien-like being. Inside its stomach, there is nothing but complete darkness. Edward looks around and asks, "How are we supposed to get out of here?" But Colonel Mustang's assistant reveals the terrible truth. Getting out of this place is impossible. And with that shocking realization, the movie comes to an end. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because your support helps this channel grow and keeps these stories coming. And don't forget to share this video with a friend who loves epic movie stories just like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.